Effective immediately, the Department of Homeland Security is taking steps to lift the shadow of deportation from these young people. Over the next few months, eligible individuals who do not present a risk to national security or public safety will be able to request temporary relief from deportation proceedings and apply for work authorization.
Due to being unable to get immigration legislation passed, on June 15, 2012, the Obama administration announced that certain young undocumented immigrants who were brought to the United States as children could apply for the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrival, or DACA, providing relief from deportation and the chance to work for a living.
My mom rushed into the theater space where I was rehearsing saying, "Mijo, el presidente Obama ha hecho un cambio," right? My son, President Obama, has created this change. You're going to be legal now. And of course, DACA is not necessarily a permanent legal status, but it does allow us to be protected from deportation and have work authorization.
DACA is an executive action by the president. It has prevented the deportation of nearly 800,000 immigrants.
Currently at United We Dream, our main priorities are to prevent as many deportations as possible, to stop people from entering into the deportation pipeline. And one of the ways that we can do that is by preserving the DACA program, which has already protected 750,000 young people from deportation, and also provided their families a quality of life, a life of dignity, and a life without fear.
I was able to go to school. I'm currently a junior, and because of DACA, I have been able to get a work permit. I have been able to get a driver's license, buy my first car, and also work with the community.
Not only the document itself, it has allowed me to really see the potential that one has, and it has allowed me to explore it. It has its limitations. It's not a legal status, but it has allowed me to have a job and not worry about if I apply to a job, whether I could be hired or not. It has allowed me to actually be in a professional setting, not just work under the table.
DACA is not an amnesty, but the individual is provided with a social security number, a work permit, and certain benefits from the city and state. It is up to the individual to get a green card and take the path to citizenship. Potential extensions for DACA, such as DAPA, are currently on hold, as there are not enough Supreme Court justices to break the tie since the death of Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia. This has sparked protests all over the United States.
It's very sad that the Supreme Court decided not to give this vote for something that could be so crucial and so helpful to those many parents that want to stay with their children.
A concern going into 2017 is what the president-elect Donald Trump is going to do with DACA. Given his campaign promises and his relation with the Mexican American people, it is considered unlikely that he will continue the program or install justices who will agree with an extension.
Under my administration, anyone who illegally crosses the border will be detained until they are removed out of our country and back to the country from which they came.
The DACA program is currently under threat by the incoming Trump administration. And Right now, there's many people who are fearful about how their lives can be changed after already having had DACA for 4 years. But here at United We Dream, we firmly believe that we can protect DACA if we are coming out of the shadows, sharing our stories, sharing the impact on our families, and fighting to create momentum at the local level and at the national level to preserve this life-changing program.
When I asked what you would do to address the almost 800,000 dreamers like Oscar Vasquez who would be subject to deportation if President Obama's executive order was repealed, you said, quote, "I believe in following the law. There is too much focus on people who are here illegally and not enough on the law."
In his Senate confirmation hearing, Senator Jeff Sessions seems to outright insist the Trump administration is dead set on reversing DACA, but declining to say what he will do with over 750,000 already enrolled.
Now, if DACA ends, I'll be not completely secure in this country, and that it's not gonna allow me to continue with my life as normal.
And if we lose DACA, I'm going to lose my work permit, and that would mean that I would lose my driver's license. I wouldn't have a job. So, I'm going to lose many things, but I'm never going to lose the fight, because I'm going to continue fighting for immigrants' rights, for students like myself.
I will urge the president-elect and the incoming administration to think long and hard before they are endangering the status of what, for all practical purposes, are American kids.
Mayors from across the country have written to Trump asking him to spare DACA.
A letter signed by 14 mayors that put together from across the country about our DACA students, and that they were working hard towards the American dream. And all of us fundamentally believe that those are students, those are also people that want to join the armed forces. They gave their name, their address, their phone number, where they are. They're trying to achieve the American dream. No fault of their own, their parents came here. They are something we should hold up and embrace.
Trump's website calls DACA illegal executive amnesty, and he promised to terminate it immediately. But he also states in Time magazine that he's going to work something out that will make people happy and proud.
I'm not able to say whether DACA or not will be taken away, but what we want to reassure people, especially those who have DACA and those who didn't live essentially a life without DACA, is that they will be okay. Yes, they will continue to be undocumented. They might not have a work permit, but that's why we need to organize and talk within our communities and prepare for any sort of situation. We don't want to instill fear in our communities, but we want our communities to be prepared.
If DACA were to be removed, I don't know what would happen. All I know is that I will continue fighting for what's right. I'm here to stay, and I'm here to continue fighting with my community.
For immigrants wondering how to get into the program, it all starts with an immigration screening. For up-to-date information, sign up to United We Dream mailing list.
Get your education, because your education is not, nobody's gonna steal that from you. And as far as we go with or without DACA, it is still possible for you to be educated.
I was once told that bullies pick on the weak, and that's what Donald Trump is. He's a bully, and right now he sees the immigrant community as not being strong enough. And I want to tell all the DACA recipients, all the undocumented people who are watching, that it's okay to be afraid, but we have to fight back. We cannot let discrimination rule this nation.
So it should allow us to build more conscious and really talk and organize amongst ourselves on how are we going to improve our communities, because it's obvious that the administration will not really do that for us.
For my brothers and sisters, community members out there who are fighting, who are resilient, I want to remind you that we won DACA through organizing power. We mobilized to create this policy and to win relief for our community. And even though it is under threat, we need to come together again to fight, to preserve our dignity, and to ensure that in this next administration, we continue to expand our rights and let everyone know that we are here to stay and we're not going anywhere.
Put yourself in their shoes. Imagine you've done everything right your entire life. Studied hard, worked hard, maybe even graduated at the top of your class, only to suddenly face the threat of deportation to a country that you know nothing about, simply because of the actions of their parents or because of the inaction of politicians. We have always drawn strength from being a nation of immigrants, as well as a nation of laws, and that's going to continue. And my hope is that Congress recognizes that and gets behind this effort.
They're here really just like immigrants have every single generation. From the beginning, when we had the founding fathers and before, it's this exact same thing. Immigrants putting new life, new blood into what America is.
I think that it's really important for people to get involved in any organizations, to volunteer. That's huge, right? Because organizations are taking action, but if you're not part of those organizations, then you're being left out.